Hi, this is City Scrapper. I'm here today to tell you about something fun I participated in recently. I noticed on Instagram a few weeks ago that Kimberly from Scrapbooking for Newbies made a post about a traveling box, and I messaged her that I was interested in participating. A traveling box is a box full of goodies. You receive the box, there's a bunch of stuff in there, you pick out what you like, you replace what you took out with some other goodies, and then you send it on to the next person. And many, many years ago, when I was very young, I used to make miniatures for doll houses, and I participated in a box like that, and it was so much fun. So I was really excited to try it. And I received the box yesterday, and I picked out some things. I'm going to show you what I picked out, and then I'm going to come back later on with a layout that I created out of these things. So that's the box I'm going to send everything back in. And here are the things that I picked out. As you can see, I got a washi tape. I got some iridescent glitter. And I think these are embossing powders. I can't wait to try them. If they're not embossing powders or there's something else, I will find a use for them. Here are definitely some embossing powders. This one's a clear glow in the dark, and this is an orange Recollections embossing powder. I always see her beautiful epoxy flares on Instagram. I've never gotten them before from Scrap and Happy Studio. I was looking for some coronavirus themed items, so I was really excited to see that. Here are some other epoxy flares. This is an old one. I always use things like this. I love florals, glittery, not glittery. I will make good use of that. I got this beautiful stamp set. I thought the flowers were absolutely beautiful in there. And the arrow, I love that. Birds of a Feather. This is from So Sophie, an oldie book goodie from My Mind's Eye. Here are some little ephemera pieces that I got out of a bag, and I thought that I would be able to incorporate those into a few layouts. I got some buttons, super pretty buttons. And I also got this little die. It's a simple flower die. I like that middle piece though for the flower. I could use it for this flower or for some other flowers. I also got, in addition, I got some papers. And I'll show you the papers that I got. And I'll just quickly flip through them. So some of these are on the newer side. That's an older My Mind's Eye, Miss Caroline. That's just a one-sided one. Here's another one. These Miss Caroline, these old My Mind's Eye papers are so thick. I love them. There's a nice dot. Look at that marbled paper. Gorgeous. Love these. These are Basic Gray Eskimo Kisses. I have more papers from that line. Absolutely love that line. Here's a good one I thought would be good to use for our current situation. No Place Like Home. I think I had this paper years ago. I think I could use those stars for graduation. Love that paper. Here's a pretty floral with some gold accents. Love this one. Love this red checkered paper. And then there's some, I guess they're cut apart on the other side. Love this blue. I could definitely see myself using that side. I think this one's one-sided, a pretty floral. Another one-sided one. Love those colors. Look at that one. Here is, oh, another one of those marbled papers. Love that. I love Simple Stories summer collections. They're always so bright and cheery. This one is Summer Days. It's beautiful. Here's another paper from that collection. And then there's a couple of sheets in here. I really liked how bright and cheery these papers were. There's a few papers left, but I'm sure I'm going to use every one of them. How much movement and cheeriness is in that piece of paper. And then there's some splashing, some palm trees. Love that colorful background. Hummingbird, just such cheeriness. And a solid green. Well, not solid, but I would use it as a solid. And finally, I got some stencils. And I just love stencils. They're one of my favorite things. There's a bunch of animal prints. And I thought this one would be great to use with Halloween. I love these ornate kind of fences that I feel like you would see in a Gothic Halloween themed page. So those are the things that I got. And I replaced them with a lot of things from my stash that hopefully somebody else will love and give a good home to. And I'll be back with a layout that I created from those supplies. See you soon. Hello. I'm back to show you some layouts that I made using the items that I got in the traveling box. I'm going to show you those 5 layouts, and then I'm going to show you some additional layouts that I created in June. Each month I'd like to have a video in which I show all the layouts that I made for that month. I didn't have a super productive month in June, so I just thought I would combine both of those into one video. And I'm going to get started showing you these layouts. The first one is called Beautiful. The papers are all from the box. I also used clear embossing powder on the top of that title from the box, and the rest of the items are from my stash. I use this cut file from the Paper Passion Posh Etsy shop. I cut out some butterflies from the pattern paper and use some self-adhesive pearls, and I use this ribbon from my stash, and I use a doily that I had. This layout was made using this background paper from the box and also this washi tape from the box. I feel like I get a lot of use out of black and white washi tape. I use a lot of things from my scrap envelopes. Most of this paper was from my scraps. I use these Martha Stewart flowers that I got a long time ago from Tuesday Morning, and then also these plastic flowers. I use some die cuts that I keep in a bin of leaf die cuts. I did some stamping, used some sprays, some texture paste, and some splatters on the background. The pattern paper from this one is from the box, and that's the majority of the layout is the pattern paper. I really just use a couple of things from my own stash. I did use the buttons from the box, and I used my sprays and some white acrylic paint to splatter, and some white cardstock and a couple of other colors of cardstock and scraps from my stash. This one, as you can see, was created with the same pattern paper. I did find, and it shows you how there's things in your stash sometimes, or at least I could say things in my stash I don't even realize I had. I did have some coordinating journaling cards from Simple Stories, so I was able to not only use the papers that I had left over from the other layout that I just showed you, but I also used this from the box, and I was able to cut these out from the journaling cards that I had. Just this, and the sunglasses to kind of work as embellishments. And I added some, looks like enamel hearts, and did some fussy cutting of flowers on this one as well. And this is a little camera from my stash. I was really excited to get this paper because it looks to me like a very formal graduation type paper, and it was in orange, which is one of the colors from my daughter's school. So that was the important part of the background. And then I just added some black and white elements on top. And those were the layouts that I made using the traveling box. I find that sometimes when I have either a kit or I just have certain supplies that I have to use or I want to use or I'm challenged to use, I sometimes find it almost makes it easier than if I just have everything in my room. I don't know what to pick. So this kind of narrows my focus to those things that are in front of me, and I think, how can I use them? What layouts could I use them on, and what can I combine them with from my stash? So I found it great and really inspiring to have that pile of things that I felt like I want to find a way to use these things. So I really liked that experience a lot. Just like I love challenges and kits now and then, for the same reasons, that it really gets you to say, what can I make from these particular items without having to search through your whole stash? So this is one of the layouts that I made just using materials that I had. I use a paper Passion Posh cut file, and I backed that with some older K & Company papers that I had. I used some wood veneer birds that I colored with a stamp pad, and I layered up and distressed some papers behind the picture. These are also wood veneer. I used some self-adhesive pearls, some mixed media, and texture paste. And that's about it. Love this collection. It's an old K & Company collection that I have a lot of because I loved it so much. I bought quite a bit. This page is also for the Paper Passion Posh, the design team. I used a cut file from the shop, this Life's a Beach, and it also comes with these shells as part of the cut file. Once I had backed that, I just cut out some, not this, but I cut out, just fussy cut these out from a paper. I believe it's a Bo Bunny paper or Bo Bunny collection called Forever Young. And I just used some splatters. You could see a couple of little jewels from Queen & Company. And I found these in my stash. These are definitely an older item. Found those. And that's about it for that one. For this layout, I saw a layout on Instagram that inspired me. Somebody had used a triangle at the top of their page like that, just a piece of paper at that angle, and I thought, ooh, wouldn't that be cool? It would look almost like a graduation hat, and then if I had a tassel to hang off of it, I felt like that would be a cool way to use a shaker. And so I made the shaker. I have been really excited to make shakers lately. I think they're super fun. It took a really long time to get started, but now that I got started, I'm making them a lot. And I found the tassel was worth the hassle on the internet. I just Googled graduation sayings, and then I combined it with some paper. A lot of the paper that I use, I'm using things from different celebration type themes because I don't really have enough paper that's graduation themed for all of my layouts. So I'm really just using whatever black, gold kind of papers that I have. And I added some of these stars that I had in my collection. This next one is also a graduation themed page. I again use a shaker that I created using a Silhouette Shop cut file. And these orange graduation hats, and then some of the words in here that say like congrats and grad, those are actually from my daughter's school. They had table scatter, and my daughter collected some of it for me. It was one of the celebrations that they had after the ceremony was over, and I think that's great. That was actually from her school, along with many other sequins and things, but I thought that was cute. And then also this button, just took the back off of it, included that, and some other items from my stash. And I thought this was cute. This was one of those filters that they have, but they spelled university wrong. And my daughter told me that it was spelled wrong all 3 years that she lived in the University Commons. This layout was not my favorite. I had a lot of trouble with this one. The background, I just had a lot of trouble getting this one to come together. And I really just used this ephemera pack from Bo Bunny. I don't have any of the papers. I added some flowers, and I cut these out of this dark green paper that I had in my scrap bin. And it's not my favorite layout. I'm almost feeling like there's something else that needs to be added to it, but not every layout, I guess, is going to be my favorite. So unless I figure out what's missing, I guess I'll just call this done. And then this is the last layout from this month, or from June, I should say. Now we're in July. This one is using all things that were from my stash. This is an ephemera pack. Again, a different Bo Bunny ephemera pack. I'm trying to use those ephemera packs that I bought because I thought they were beautiful, but I don't have any paper for them. So I'm trying to get some of those things onto my pages. In addition to the ephemera pack, I used these Vicky Bouton stamps. I stamped them on paper, fussy cut them out, included those. This is from a Maggie Holmes, one of those thicker title packs that you could buy, you know, when they have like thickers and then some other images included in there. These are also from that same pack. And some torn paper. I used sprays and splatters and texture paste, enamel dots, and that's about it for that one. I had these frames cut out for another layout, and I just kind of included those in the cluster. And that's my layout share and traveling box share for June. And I have a lot more things that I'm hoping to make videos about. I'm hoping to do a craft room tour soon. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope if you like this video that you'll give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.